Hi, my name is, whatever it is now. So today, we're gonna do a quick little shooter-banger-roober of every single LEGO Star Wars The Last Jedi set, because I don't even know any of these. Don't tell the boss, though. Look, so we're gonna just speed run this, alright? You ready for this? I'm gonna hit up each and every set that's been released so far, so keep that in mind, alright? Don't go writing those rage comments without reading that description, you know what I'm saying, man? You know, classic stuff. So basically, I'm gonna go through every set, and I'm going to express my quick little thoughts without actually owning the set, but going based off of why I'm not paying so much money for all these ridiculously priced sets. So without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, so we're going to start off in the order of which it is listed in the LEGO shop, because that's all I could look at right now. So starting up, we got Rey, and she has a little buildable figure, and that's $25 for an alien face version of a female that is pretty hot in real life without that ruining her. Well, that got a little out of hand, but you know what I'm saying? All these things are always alien faces, these buildable figures. I don't get what the point of them are. But then you have this next one, when they're helmeted, and that usually looks cool. Those sweet molds. This is $20 for a light TIE fighter pilot, and he's got that nice red and black. He actually looks kind of decent, but I'm not into buildable figures in general. So, next up we have the light Patreon. Okay, this guy, whatever, Praetorian, Garde. And, well, he has some nice little red cloaks going on there. I like those drapes and how they almost touch the floor, but not quite. That's the kind of things I appreciate about LEGO in general. So, he's got that nice little cloak. He almost looks like, you know, Imperial Guards, those little red cloaked guys from the Death Star, but, I mean, they're totally not copying the original trilogy at all in this new trilogy, so let's just forget I said anything like that. I gotta say, he kinda looks cool, but, again, not into those buildable figures. He would be the best of the buildable figures for this wave, though, I gotta say. I gotta swallow that saliva because we are moving on. We got the First Order Star Destroyer. Okay, that's pretty bulk, if you ask me. That's very bulk. So you got Snoke here, Supreme Leader Snoke. Now, it's not the one that looks super cool from The Force Awakens. Instead, it's, you know, what it should be, the Last Jedi version of Snoke, and I just am not into that look in general. He looks like a creepy old man now. I mean, he was a creepy old man before, but he was, like, creepy, like, ooh, he's cool, he's creepy. But now it's, like, creepy old man, like, it looks like an old man who's supposed to be like a normal old man who's super creepy and stuff, you know what I'm saying? You know, those golden robes don't really fit him. He doesn't look intimidating anymore. He's just like, oh, that guy looks kind of chill. He doesn't know what he's doing at all. You know, something like that. If you get where my thought process is going here, that's my opinion on the look of Supreme Leader Snoke in general. And I gotta say, they did an all-right job, especially trying to get that three-dimensional face, that three-dimensional CGI face onto this, you know, little 2D round head. So, I mean, it's usually tough for them to do stuff like that, and that never translates so good. And this is it's mediocre. It's not great. I mean, you know, the eyeballs are off. It should be that way, but it's just weird. I don't know, man. And then you got a bunch of other random guys, but you know, Snoke's the only reason you're gonna pay $160 frickin' dollars for this thing. I mean, come on, $160 for Supreme Leader Snoke. They're probably not releasing him in another set. There's like a hologram piece in there or something. I'm not going too far in that. So, next up we have the First Order Heavy Assault Walker. Alright, so we have an AT-AT. And now it's on a different snow planet, unless I honestly don't know. But basically, you know, we're already copying Empire Strikes Back here. I'm running out of time. Here's what's going on. You have Rey in this one, so you're gonna pay $150 now, because Rey is actually in this super expensive set. Trust me, though, you're gonna want to wait till next year, alright? January, I'm talking, or it's probably gonna be spring. They're always spring nowadays. You're gonna get that little island with Luke and Rey, and that's worth the money, trust me. But this little piece of AT-AT is not worth the time, nor money. The time is in building this giant bulk thing. Swallow that saliva. You also have, like, Poe Dameron in there, right? And, you know, a bunch of generic First Order people that all get very interchangeable at this point, you know? So this one's, I mean, it's not so different from a normal AT-AT. I mean, you could tell it's different, obviously, all First Order styled. So you got, like, black, really dark gray, and red, like the very occasional trans red, you know what I'm saying? And I mean, it looks good, sure, but it's not worth it, I think. I mean, they maybe could have, I don't know where I'm going with this. Resistance Bomber! Oh, they're gonna ban Oh, $110 for this little thing. I mean, this design in general, again, I'm not a fan of. I mean, they're staying pretty true to the source material they have to work with, but I'm not crazy about that source material for once. But still, I guess they kind of nailed down the design, but hey, are we talking 3 over $100 sets in this wave for just the first wave of a movie? Yikes, this is so expensive, and it doesn't get much cheaper than this, trust me. So $110 for this. What good figgies. You got another Poe in there, right? So you have 2 variants of Poe. You have, like, that little pink-haired lady. I mean, she looks important, right? I guess. She has a face that you could actually tell apart from others. So this is, I mean, again, just another overpriced set where it's just like, oh, but that one fig, I gotta get it now. And it's really expensive, man. So next up, we have Kylo Ren's TIE Fighter. That's really all it's called, just a TIE Fighter. Is this a glitch in the website that I'm looking at? I don't know. Kylo Ren's TIE Fighter TM. This is $80. $80? We're getting on the cheaper side. Trust me, somehow. So this one has, of course, Kylo Ren. You're surprised that he's cheaper than Rey. I mean, you know. But, so you got Kylo Ren in his sort of new outfit that's not completely different. I mean, it's different. Yes, it's completely different, but it's not so different. But, you know, again, that's staying true to the source material, which isn't so amazing. But you got a nice scar across his face. That looks cool, right? So now you gotta pay $80. And again, just another bunch of generic first order people that you probably could care less about. So, I mean, the TIE Fighter itself does look pretty sweet. I mean, at least they made it black this time. I mean, you know, remember Kylo Ren's shuttle? That color tone was a little very off. So, next up, we got the First Order Heavy Scoutwalker. This is probably the one I'm most fond of for some reason, and yet the build seems so pointless. It's like, what is this thing? I mean, it is supposedly a moving vehicle that's going to take place in the movie, because it does have the wheels on it. You'd think that they're not just making that up, like, let's make a super shooter laser thingy that can move. I mean, that's like an actual thing from the movie, and the design doesn't look great at all. It just looks like a little block, but for some reason, I dig it. I'm really falling in love with this baby. And of course, you got General Hux. I mean, I don't happen to have that figure, so it's not like this is biased at all. But I do want General Hux, alright? I do have Captain Boomerang's face, and that little red hairpiece, and generic First Order officer uniforms. I can make an easy custom, but hey, I want the real expensive one. $50. It still seems like for that, it's not worth $50 at all. I mean, this looks like a little tiny thing. It looks like a typical maybe $30 set. But you know what is $30? This thing that looks like a $20 set. The Resistance Transport Pod. Hey, yeah, remember Finn? He's still around, I guess. So you have a kind of new variant of him. You got the new face. That's the thing I dig the most. I don't know. You don't get many African-American variants of faces. That's just Lego for you. But then you also have whoever those people are. BB-8 is still not different, which kind of sucks, because at this point, he's becoming very common. I remember back in the day, I was like, yo, Poe's X-Wing fighter. I'm going to pay $80 so I could get this super rare BB-8 fig. And now I have like 5 BB-8s, and I'm like, I really regret doing that. I should have at least waited for that to go on sale, but you know what? That's life for ya. Good Frank Sinatra song. So, next up, I guess we still didn't finish the buildable figures. This Lego shop website is so out of order. Chewbacca, he looks ugly. Enough said. $35? Wait, not enough said. That's way too much for that. I want to say he looks like a giant turd, so I'm going to say he looks like a giant turd. Next up, you have BB-8 for $100. And yeah, you still have the original BB-8 fig that's really, again, not so hard to get. But, you know, just in case you wanted him anyways, just to go and display next to the giant BB-8. This one's actually really cool looking. Of course, it doesn't have its main primary function. You can't roll around and stuff, you know, he's still got to be limited to what Lego can do, but for display value, it looks really cool, and you can move his head. His head is actually pretty movable, I want to say. I can't find the word, but we're running out of time here. So he actually looks really cool. He moves kind of good. Of course, not super accurate. You can't roll it with his head staying in place. That's not physically possible for Lego to do at the moment until technology develops in the future. But anyways, that's BB-8 for you. That's got to be my favorite one. $100, and actually price to piece ratio for once actually works out quite fine for this one. So that's all I've got to say say about all these Lego Last Jedi sets. Not a big fan of the wave, that's why I didn't get every single one. And that'll be the same. Thank you very much for watching. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned for a review of Star Wars The Last Jedi coming surprisingly much sooner than you'd think. Bye!